So I thought today I would do a little video on how I would focus my energy if I was just starting out. I'm working with Kip. I'm redoing everything so that we're starting from square one and teaching it correctly. And I thought one of the things people struggle with is this idea of trying to keep their criteria and rate of reinforcement where it needs to be, and it's overwhelming and it's too much to take on. So if I were starting out and I was new to clicker training, how would I set things up and where would I focus my energy so that I got good at clicker training and my skills developed? So I'm still going to continue with this exercise of I want Kip to touch the target and I want him to build duration. So the first thing that I would do is I would determine my criteria. So in this case, he needs to touch the target with the leather of his nose. And every time he does that, I'm going to click. Now, a lot of times people find it difficult. There's too much stuff in their hands. I tend to toss the clicker over here on the palm of my hand. I do like the clickers with the buttons. It lets me do more at once. And I find a lot of times people try and get all prepped when they're first starting out, and it's too much going on. So people learn one skill at a time, similar as anybody learns one skill at a time, even our dogs. So we're going to break it down into sort of this two-step process where I'm going to worry about the timing of the click, and then step two, I'll worry about the timing and placement of the feeding. If we work slowly and carefully, yes, the rate of reinforcement will go down. However, as we get better at it, that's going to start to come together, and we'll be able to forget about things that used to cause us some struggle and difficulty, and we'll be able to refocus our energy on getting the rate of reinforcement up. So this is if I were new to clicker training and I really wanted to be a little slower. So I'm going to make sure there's nothing in my hand. My treats are prepared here off to the side. And all I'm going to do first is focus on the click. Then I'm going to stop and reach, and I'm going to feed where I want him to be. So now I'm going to reach over again. I'm going to feed here. So this allows me to just focus my brain on one aspect of what I'm doing at a time. Okay, so there's the click. There's that. Now our dogs, if they've been doing this for a while, should be able to ignore that pile of food that's sitting there. I mean, he's aware that it's there, but he's also very aware that this is the place where that reinforcement is going to be. So I focus on one task, then I focus on the other task. So I've done that, now I stop and think, where do I want the treat? I want it here, because later on I want to build duration. And I'm trying to create this lingering, and that lingering is what turns into the hold. And then I stop, then I do this. And yes, this is a little bit slow, but if you were to actually work it through, this is probably still hitting that 10 per minute that I like to hit when I want people learning something new. Okay, so click. Then I worry about where I'm going to put that treat. So click, think about it. It's okay to take a second when you're learning a new skill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to accept one miss, like as in a quarter of a second. Karma, get back to your mat. Lie down. Down. Thank you. Down. Thanks. Okay. One miss. One miss. And I know it's a little bit bumpy, but that's okay for now. One miss. Whoops, forgot to click. That's okay. One miss. One miss. One miss. So that push, that's a remnant of feeding one miss in the right location from previous sessions. So I'm not going to set that one because it's a bridge of the nose one. 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 So notice the difference from some of the previous versions when I started trying to add duration. And I started getting that frustration and looking back and forth. I mean, he's looking at the treats and stuff, but I wasn't getting any duration. He wasn't getting any right responses. That has to do with feeding here. So even though I'm slowing down, I'm reaching for the cookie, it's starting to happen because I'm still making sure that that reinforcement is coming in the right location. Don't be afraid to take your time to learn the mechanics correctly. And even as you're watching him work through it right now, you can see that he's starting to calmly hold position for a quarter second, but it's not that same frantic stuff we saw when I was feeding in the wrong position.